Welcome to all of you. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're going to enjoy this installment of Glass with a Class. We love depression glass here. Today we're going to talk about the origin of some of the depression glass pattern names. There are too many to go into all of them here in our little 5-minute episode, but we're going to look at a few and give you some idea of how some of the patterns were named. I thought that might be sort of fun. Of course, we can easily guess that some were named for a relative, and some were named solely on their look or some obvious characteristic. For instance, the hobnail glass that we talked about last episode. The look of the bumpy outside of the hobnail pattern came from the hobnail boots from years past. The bumps on the glass looked like the bottoms of the boots that were implanted with the hobnail heads. Let's take a look at just a few patterns. Here's one from New Martinsville Glass Manufacturing Company from around 1930 that's called Addy, or 12-point. According to Gene Florence, it's known as 12-point because that's how many points it has. Simple enough, but he said when he started researching this pattern, he found that about 20 years earlier, author William Heacock called it Addy, as a tribute to Addy Miller, a pioneer author for New Martinsville Glass Company products. Here's Cherry Blossom, one of my favorites. It gets its name pretty honestly. It has cherries and cherry blossoms as its pattern. You've seen my sandwich tray with handles and my sugar bowl. Remember when we talked about missing lids? That was Cherry Blossom with the missing lids. Circle is one of those obvious patterns. Its pattern is just circles all around. Here is Lake Como. I did a search for Lake Como to see where it is, if in fact it really exists. And it does. It's in Lombardy, Italy. These pieces are not easy to find, and if you do, many times the picture is worn. But I do have one piece, the sugar bowl. See the pretty picture? Mine happens not to be worn. Sylvan was appropriately named by its maker, Federal Glass Company, because Sylvan means one who lives in the woods. However, many people prefer to call it by its nickname, Parrot, for obvious reasons. That little parrot in the middle. Sometimes more than one little parrot in the middle. I really like this pattern, but I don't have a single piece of it yet. Roulette gets its name from the little indentations all the way around it. They're supposed to look like the slots on a roulette wheel, hence the name roulette. Its nickname is mini windows. Pretty evident as to why that is. I only have one piece of this, and it's the coffee cup. I think I paid $1 for it at a yard sale. Yard sales are great places to pick up depression glass for really good prices. Sierra is the name of this lovely. Its origin is Spanish, and it means saw or sawtooth. Its nickname is pinwheel for obvious reasons. I don't have any of this pattern, but I'm told it's easily damaged because of its design. You can see why that could be true. These little projections stick out and catch on many things, I'm sure. Well, we can't always find out how a pattern got its name. Maybe the person who named it had a private or personal reason for it. Maybe the reason was never recorded. They're fun to look at, though, and try to figure out why they were so named, don't you think? Okie dokie. Here is the class portion of Glass with a Class. It has to do with fill and feel, gel and jail. The problem with these words and others like them probably occurs mostly in the South. Not sure why that is. The problem is that we pronounce them the same. Take gel and jail. We sometimes tend to say jail for both, when it should be gel for G-E-L and jail for J-A-I-L. Gel has an E sound in the middle, and jail has an A sound in the middle. Same for fill and feel. Fill has an I sound in the middle, and feel has an E sound in the middle. short, funny note here. I have a friend whose name is Phil, and a college professor told him his name was pronounced Phil, not Phil. I guess that's true. Since I noticed this years ago, I try to make the distinction when I'm pronouncing them. Well, that's it for another episode of Glass with a Class. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you remember a few episodes back when we talked about multi-piece items that were missing pieces? We'll come back in 2 weeks when we'll look at finding those missing pieces. Hope to see you then. God bless. Bye-bye.